Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show that takes you deep into the world of spirituality, energy, and truths we may never have questioned before. Today, we will explore an interesting concept. What if the life we are living right now is like a game? How would that make you feel? The body is a radio, the mind is the listener. Have you ever wondered why we think about certain things? Why does the voice in our head sometimes not feel like our own? In the world of spirituality, there's a fascinating idea that our body is like a radio and our mind is the receiver. We aren't the ones creating the waves, but we are receiving various forms of energy waves into ourselves. So, where does the voice in our head come from? Sometimes it may not truly be our own thoughts, but rather waves of commands in the brain that are connected to what is called the mind or consciousness. We are characters in the game of life. Imagine that this life is a game we are playing. We are the characters in this game. But the difference from a normal game is that in a typical game, we are the only player controlling that character, right? In the game of life, we are just the character, and there is someone or something constantly controlling us. And what's interesting is that there isn't just one controller. These controllers, whether they are called gods, demons, angels, spirits, or monsters, are just metaphors. In reality, they are the energies that come to define our thoughts and actions. Let's try to understand these energies more clearly. If you have a thought to help someone, that's a connection to the energy of an angel. This is a positive energy that pushes us to do good. If you are full of anger and resentment towards someone, that is a demonic thought that is overpowering you. If you succeed at something, that is a connection to the energy of a god that brings you success. Can you start to see how every thought and every action is connected to these energy waves? We aren't alone in this world. We are connected to a vast network of energy. The cycle of rebirth and the simulation. What about the system of reincarnation? From this perspective, it's also part of this game. Birth, death, and rebirth might be like restarting the game so we can learn new lessons in each round. And the concept that we are in a simulation makes the picture even clearer. If this world is just an illusion created for some purpose, what is that purpose? Breaking free from the game. So, how do we break free from this game? If we are characters being controlled, what is true freedom? Breaking free might not be about leaving the game entirely, but about understanding the rules of the game, understanding how different energies work, and choosing to be our own controller instead of being controlled by those energies. When we understand that our thoughts are not always our own, and we have the power to choose whether to accept or reject certain energies, that is the beginning of true freedom. Life is a complex game, but it's also full of wonder. Understanding ourselves, our thoughts, and the energy around us will help us play this game wisely and lead ourselves to true liberation. So, what kind of game do you think our life is? The voice in your head signals from the universe. Often, we think that the thoughts that pop into our heads are things we have created entirely ourselves. But in reality, a spiritual perspective suggests that the voice we hear in our heads is actually a signal that comes from somewhere in the universe. Imagine that the universe is full of countless energy waves, and our minds are like special receivers with the ability to catch these waves. When our minds catch a certain energy wave, that wave is translated into a thought that we hear in our heads. Everything is a system. Frequency defines identity. The important thing we need to understand is that everything in this universe operates as a system, including our minds and thoughts. And this system influences the creation of our identity. When our minds attune to a certain frequency often, whether it's the frequency of anger, happiness, fear, or compassion, those frequencies are gradually absorbed into us, little by little, until they become a part of our habits. For a simple example, if you often receive thought waves filled with anxiety, your mind will become accustomed to that frequency, and you will start to feel anxious more often, until anxiety becomes a part of your personality. On the other hand, if you choose to attune your mind to the frequency of peace, compassion, or creativity, your mind will gradually absorb those energies, and you will become a more peaceful, compassionate, or creative person. What do you choose to be? This is the interesting part and where our power lies. Even though some thoughts may not be directly our own, we have the right and the power to choose what kind of frequency signals we allow into our minds. If we know that the voice in our head is a signal from the outside, we can question it and choose not to give importance to signals that aren't beneficial to us. So, what frequency is your mind attuned to right now? And what frequency do you want to attune to in order to create the identity you want to be? Negative thoughts, brain chemicals, or attracted energy. From a modern scientific perspective, our thoughts and emotions are explained by the workings of brain chemicals, right? When certain chemicals are released, we feel happy, sad, angry, or anxious. This concept is widely accepted. But what if we look at it from the perspective of energy that we discussed earlier? Negative thoughts might not just be brain chemicals malfunctioning, but they might be low-frequency energy waves that our minds pick up. And when we catch that frequency often, our brain chemicals might be released according to that frequency perception, creating a cycle that keeps us stuck in a spiral of negative thoughts and emotions. DNA, the blueprint of life and spiritual inheritance. Let's talk about DNA for a moment. Scientists tell us that DNA is the genetic code that determines all our physical characteristics, from hair and eye color to our physical appearance. DNA is the blueprint that contains all our information from birth. But do you believe that DNA might be more than just a physical blueprint? It might be a much more complex blueprint of life than we think. Some spiritual beliefs suggest that for us to be born, we are born through the lineage of our own family. Imagine that when two people fall in love, it doesn't just mean the union of two individuals. It's the moment when two lineages can send a spirit or energy to be born to these two people. This is the concept that a reincarnating spirit might not be born randomly, but has a pattern that is connected to our bloodline. Many spirits might circle within the same lineage, being born repeatedly as ancestors, descendants, or even ourselves in different lifetimes. Erasing the clan, the truth behind the metaphor. This concept intriguingly explains the origin of a shocking phrase. When you want to erase a system, you have to erase the clan. From the spiritual perspective we've been discussing, erasing the clan doesn't just mean physical destruction. It means cutting the energy cycle or destroying the system of spirits that circulate within that bloodline to prevent those spirits from being born again or from inheriting a certain system or karma. Of course, this is just a metaphor reflecting the belief in the inheritance of energy and spirits within a family lineage. It does not promote any violence. Instead, it opens our perspective to see that some ancient sayings might have a deeper meaning than we've ever understood. Unlocking your blueprint. If DNA is our blueprint and we are part of a system of spiritual inheritance within our family lineage, how can we unlock or change this blueprint? Can we choose not to accept negative energies or cut the cycle of certain habits passed down through our bloodline? These are the questions we will explore in the next episode. And what about you? What are your views on DNA and spiritual inheritance? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our journey exploring the truth of life from a spiritual perspective. In our previous episode, we discussed the concept that we are like characters in a game and that various energies can control our thoughts. Today, we will focus on something even greater, our higher self. Higher self, the true master controller. The idea that we are characters that anyone can play might make it seem like we have no power, right? But the truth is, every human has a master controller, or their main player, which is our higher self. Although other people or external energies can sometimes control their characters, the higher self is the purest, most intelligent part of us. It is the primary director of our lives. The path to connection, let go and observe. So how do we connect with our higher self? It might not sound easy, but the method is actually very simple. The key principle is to simply let go. Let go of thoughts. No matter how much a thought is circling in your head, try to set it aside for a moment. Just stop thinking about it and don't elaborate on it. Observe feelings and emotions. Notice what you're feeling and what your emotions are, but don't judge them or dwell on them. Just observe them. Be the observer. Act as if you are an outsider looking in, not a person drowning in the situation. For example, if you're worried about something, instead of dwelling on that worry, try to let go of it. Worrying doesn't solve the problem, right? Or if you're angry, try to let go of that anger first. Being angry might cause you to do something foolish that you'll regret later. These are simple examples of letting go. When the mind is still, answers will emerge. When we practice being in the state of letting go often and for long enough, something wonderful happens. Thoughts will emerge on their own. Answers you've been searching for, questions you've been pondering, or even solutions to seemingly hopeless problems will surface naturally. These emerging thoughts often come with a feeling of relief and clarity, and they point you in the right direction. This is a sign that you are connecting with your own higher self. A connection beyond thought, signals from the universe. And as we connect with our higher self more and more until it becomes a part of our lives, our perception won't be limited to just emerging thoughts. Our surrounding situations and environment will also coincidentally give us answers. You might coincidentally see an advertisement with a message that directly addresses what you're thinking about. You might coincidentally turn on the radio and hear a song with lyrics that speak to your problem. You might coincidentally walk past someone and overhear a short phrase that becomes the answer you've been waiting for. These are not coincidences. They happen because your connection to your higher self has made you more receptive to signals and guidance from the universe. Connecting with your higher self is the key to living a life with mindfulness, wisdom, and freedom from external energies that might pull you down. So, are you ready to let go and open yourself up to the whispers of your own higher self? When not connected to the higher self, opening the door to other frequencies. If we don't try to connect with our higher self, we won't be left empty or without a connection. Instead, we will connect with other frequencies or other players who take control of us. What are these? From the perspective of ancient lore, it refers to beings or energies from other dimensions, whether they are called gods, demons, ghosts, spirits, or anything we have heard of. All of these exist in a different dimension from ours, and they are also ready to connect with us. Everything wants to connect for a shared experience. Think of it this way. Everything on this planet and in the universe wants to have an experience, just like we do. Whether they are positive or negative energies, they want to interact with our world, feel emotions, perform actions, and learn through the experiences of humans like us. Therefore, when we are not connected to our inner essence, our higher self, we are like an open receiver, ready for any frequency or energy to connect with us. No matter what we choose to do or where we want to go, everything around us is ready to force or guide us because they want to play along in the game of our life to exchange experiences. We have the power to choose. The important thing we must realize is that we have the power to choose. Will we choose to be someone who is forced along by the currents of external energy, or will we choose to connect with our higher self to truly be the master of our own life's game? Understanding this mechanism will help us to be mindful in choosing which energy waves to accept, and it will truly guide our lives in the direction we want. So, in this game of life, do you want to be the chooser or the chosen? A path that is written or chosen. Many people believe that our lives are predetermined with a path written out for us from birth to death. Fortune-telling, astrology, and other divinatory arts seem to confirm this idea, right? And it's true that fortune-telling exists, and sometimes it can be surprisingly accurate. But the question is, how many people can truly read the path correctly? I want you to see it this way. Fortune-telling is partly correct.
It's like seeing one possible path, like a map showing a way. But whether it will actually happen is another matter. You are the one who chooses events, not the one who follows a written path. The key thing you must always remember is we are the ones who choose the events. Our lives are not just a script with every line written in advance. They are more like a game with dialogue or choices appearing in front of us all the time. And what we choose each time is what leads us down that dialogue or that path of events. For a simple example, if you have two options for a decision, whether it's about work, a relationship, or even small daily matters, every time you choose one path, the course of your life changes according to that choice. Therefore, fortune-telling might see the tendency or the most likely path if you continue to live and make decisions in the same old way. But the moment you choose to do something different, your life's path will change according to that choice. Understanding this makes us aware of the power we have to create our own lives and determine our destiny, not just be someone who is predetermined. So, are you ready to choose your own path?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back as we open the door to a deeper understanding of the universe and ourselves. In our previous episode, we talked about the higher self, energy, and choosing our life path. Today, we're going to expand our understanding to the topic of dimensions. The limitless universe, 11 dimensions, and the world we're stuck in. Have you ever heard that our universe isn't just what we see and feel, but that there are actually 11 dimensions? What's astonishing is that most of us are stuck in the understanding and experience of the third dimension, width, length, height, and are currently controlled by the fourth dimension, time. Think about it. We can't truly control the fourth dimension. We can't go back in time or stop time as we wish. So what would higher dimensions be like? Boundless connection, energy from all dimensions. What we need to understand is that all things that are energy, whether from different dimensions or even the same dimension, are connected all the time, like a vast, invisible spider web. What we perceive right now is only the frame of being human in the third and fourth dimensions. But do you believe that our consciousness has the incredible ability to travel through every dimension? Thoughts and connections to different dimensions. That's why we have such diverse and complex thoughts. It's because each person's consciousness is connected to different dimensions, depending on what experiences that spirit has had in different dimensions through repeated cycles of reincarnation. This cycle of birth, death, and rebirth is for the purpose of learning every aspect that we choose to experience in order to develop the eternal spiritual element and raise it to higher and higher levels. The endless journey, what do you choose? But the interesting truth is that there is no true highest point. There is only an endless journey, or another option, to leave this game entirely. So what about you? In this boundless journey of the spirit, do you choose to advance without an end, or do you choose to leave this game for another state of being? Understanding dimensions and the connection of consciousness will help us see the bigger picture of this journey more clearly. The hidden dimensions, the world we're stuck in. Do you believe that our universe isn't just what we see and feel, but that there are actually 11 dimensions? The interesting part is that most of us are stuck in the third dimension, width, length, height, and are controlled by the fourth dimension, which is time. Think about it. We can't freely control the fourth dimension. We can't go back in time or stop it. So how complex and amazing must the higher dimensions be? Boundless connection, consciousness can travel through all dimensions. What we need to understand is that all things that are energy, whether from different dimensions or the same one, are connected all the time, like a vast, invisible spider web. What we perceive right now is only the frame of being human in the third and fourth dimensions. But do you believe that our consciousness has the incredible ability to travel through every dimension? Thoughts and connections to different dimensions.
That's why we have such diverse and complex thoughts. It's because each person's consciousness is connected to different dimensions, depending on which dimensions that spirit has passed through and what experiences it has gathered. This cycle of birth, death, and rebirth is for the purpose of learning every aspect that we choose in order to develop the eternal spiritual element and raise it to higher and higher levels. The endless journey. What do you choose? But the interesting truth is that there is no true highest point. There is only an endless journey, or another option, to leave this game entirely. So what about you? In this boundless journey of the spirit, do you choose to advance without an end, or do you choose to leave this game for another state of being? Understanding dimensions and the connection of consciousness will help us see the bigger picture of this journey more clearly. The hidden dimensions, the world we're stuck in. Do you believe that our universe isn't just what we see and feel, but that there are actually 11 dimensions? The interesting part is that most of us are stuck in the third dimension, width, length, height, and are controlled by the fourth dimension, which is time. Think about it. We can't freely control the fourth dimension. We can't go back in time or stop it. So how complex and amazing must the higher dimensions be? Boundless connection, consciousness can travel through all dimensions. What we perceive right now is only the frame of being human in the third and fourth dimensions. But do you believe that our consciousness has the incredible ability to travel through every dimension? That's why we have such diverse and complex thoughts. It's because each person's consciousness is connected to different dimensions, depending on which dimensions that spirit has passed through and what experiences it has gathered. Learning and development, the highest point that doesn't exist. The cycle of birth, death, and rebirth is for the purpose of learning every aspect that we choose in order to develop the eternal spiritual element and raise it to higher and higher levels. Now, let's get to know the dimensions higher than the ones we're familiar with. The fifth dimension. This is about choices and parallel worlds. If the fourth dimension is time, the fifth dimension is every possibility of what you might do or every decision you might make. And each decision creates a timeline or parallel world. It's the dimension where we can access all the choices we've ever made or not made. The sixth dimension. This is the combination of all possible beginnings in the universe, including all the timelines that branch out from those beginnings. It's the dimension where a spirit can access true enlightenment or profound knowledge. The seventh dimension. This dimension brings together all possible universes into a single point. It's a state where the spirit merges into one with everything and can choose to leave the game or create a new universe. And going even higher, to dimensions 8, 9, 10, and 11, it becomes too complex for our common sense to grasp. But in general, these dimensions are where all possibilities, all universes, and everything are fused together to the point where everything is united as one or becomes a great void that exists beyond everything. What do you choose? The interesting truth is that there is no true highest point. There is only an endless journey, or another option, to leave this game entirely. Understanding dimensions and the connection of consciousness will help us see the bigger picture of this journey more clearly and realize that the human existence we are experiencing is just a tiny part of this vast and complex universal structure. So, what about you? In this boundless journey of the spirit, do you choose to continue advancing without an end, or do you choose to leave this game for another state of being? The eighth dimension, the beginning of all things possible. If the seventh dimension is the single point that combines all possible universes, the eighth dimension takes us even further. Imagine every possible universe that could arise from every different starting point. In physics, this is a level that's difficult to describe in our language because it's about the combination of every possible way that all universes can be born and evolve. The eighth dimension is like a vast library that holds the blueprints for the birth of every universe, every law of physics, every possibility, and every dimension below it. In spirituality, in the eighth dimension, a spirit might access the power of creation that is the origin of different realities. It can understand the blueprint of all things and might be a state that connects to the Creator on a deeper level. The ninth dimension. This is the combination of all the eighth dimensions. If the eighth dimension is all the possibilities of a universe, the ninth dimension is the infinity of all those possibilities. In physics, it's a dimension too complex for human imagination or current mathematical calculations. It's the point where every form, every dimension, every law of physics, and every possibility of every universe are completely fused together, so there are no longer any boundaries or separations. In spirituality, it's a state where the spirit merges into one with the Supreme Creator or the true source. It's a return to the state of being one with everything and accessing boundless enlightenment. The 10th dimension, the single point that contains all in infinite universes. The 10th dimension is the dimension where everything in all universes, all time, and all possibilities are combined into a single point. In physics, imagine the smallest possible point that still contains all the information of every universe, every event, and every possibility. There is no longer any dimension of time or space in this state. In spirituality, it is the state before anything was separated. It's a shapeless, thoughtless starting point where all things are completely one before the creation or separation of different identities and universes. The 11th dimension. This is the highest dimension that string theory tries to explain. It's the universe that encompasses all things we know and don't know. It's the largest dimension that can contain all the dimensions below it. In physics, the 11th dimension is seen as the grandest fundamental structure of reality, where all the laws of physics we're familiar with may no longer have meaning at this level.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our journey exploring our inner world and the mysterious universe. In the last episode, we talked about how to check and practice our minds to receive positive energy. Today, we're going to focus on something many people might see as just a legend, but which actually has a deep connection to our minds. Legends of ghosts, demons, and gods, interdimensional beings that communicate with us. We often understand the ancient words that speak of ghosts, demons, gods, angels, hungry spirits, monsters, devils, or many other things around us as invisible, solid beings that bother us, right? But in reality, those beings from other dimensions don't communicate with us in the way we think. They communicate through telepathy, meaning they come as our thoughts. It's them sending a frequency wave directly into our minds. When greed takes over, the realm of the hungry ghost within us. Let's take a simple example. Let's say you are extremely hungry for money. So hungry for money that you want it, but you don't have any, and you don't have an honest way to get it. You will start to choose to do sinful things. Negative thoughts might pop into your head like, I want money through this method or that method. That right there is you being in the realm of the hungry ghost. Greed, wanting things, wanting to eat, wanting to have, wanting to be everything, these are the things that nourish the realm of the hungry ghost within us. Multidimensional experiences fused into our nature. Do you believe that every person has been through them all? Many realms, many dimensions, whether it's the realm of hungry ghosts, gods, angels, or various animals. Everything depends on what spiritual essence has been through what. And in the present moment, those experiences that our spiritual essence has gone through in the past will slowly fuse into our habits without us knowing. It will stick as our very nature. It makes us who we are and determines our behavior. Sometimes we can even compare our habits today to the experiences our consciousness has faced in a certain dimension or realm before.
Understanding this will help us realize that who we are today isn't just a result of our current life's experiences, but a culmination of our spirit's journey through countless dimensions and realms. So, what about you? What kind of realm do you think has influenced your habits the most today? Hell and heaven, not just after death. Most people understand that hell and heaven are places we go after we die, or when we are no longer human, right? And whether we go to hell or heaven depends on our actions, according to different religions. But in reality, it's not just that. Hell and heaven exist within us all the time. It's like the negative pole and the positive pole. They are big poles that describe the overall state of mind we are in. Experiencing hell and heaven in every moment. Think about it. When we think about negative things, darkness, vengeance, or feelings that sink us down, that is us being at a low point. It's as if we are in hell. On the other hand, when our minds are full of happiness, compassion, understanding, and forgiveness, that is the state of heaven that exists within us. We are in hell, in heaven, or in any state all the time. If we can feel it, we will know everything. We will start to understand which god or demon is communicating with us. The frequency and the thoughts we receive, sometimes we might even seem delusional. Sometimes we might even look crazy in the eyes of others because they don't understand what we are perceiving. Crazy or not crazy, it's measured by consciousness and living life. But as I said, insanity can be checked. I'll give you a simple idea to check if we are crazy or not. If we are still living our lives and can walk normally, we can still make a living. We have responsibilities and things we need to do when we wake up that make our lives move forward. If we can still stand on our own with consciousness, work, earn a living, and live in the present, then we are not crazy. When the mind opens, a changed view of the world. But there is often a misunderstanding between people who have opened their minds, people who have started to connect with their higher self. These people will feel like they are not entirely on this planet. It will be like we are in another world, and we see this world differently. We will see the connection of all things, see the energy behind various actions, and understand the complex dimensions of reality more clearly, which is an experience that people who have not opened their minds might not be able to access, and they might misunderstand us as being crazy. So, what about you? Have you ever felt the state of hell or heaven that exists in your mind? And what do you think it's like to see the world differently when your mind is open? Getting to know the realms. They are our habits, emotions, and actions. We may have heard of the realm of hungry ghosts, the realm of gods, or the realm of demons, but let's understand it more simply. A realm is, in fact, our own habits, emotions, desires, and actions. Various beings, whether they are hungry ghosts, gods, demons, spirits, or monsters, are not as far away from us as we think. They connect with us, and when we connect with the energy of a certain realm, we will have habits and behaviors that reflect that realm without realizing it. The realm of gods or angels, happiness that can become boredom. Let's start with the realm of gods or angels, which has many levels. This realm mostly presents advice in a good way and is full of happiness and lightness. But there are many hidden aspects to it as well. Although this realm is truly happy, if we don't continue to develop ourselves, we will get stuck in the trap of happiness to the point of boredom, because happiness is so overflowing that we don't feel happy at the level we're at anymore. When we reach that point, there are two choices: find more happiness, or make ourselves the opposite of happiness, to find something new which might lead to a different path. The realm of demons or monsters, the destructive path without righteousness. The realm of demons or monsters is the opposite pole of the realm of gods or angels. People who are stuck in this realm are often hot-headed, don't listen to anyone, and use the power we have, no matter what it is, to satisfy our own desires, without considering what is right. Simply put, these people are on the destructive path. No matter what the thought level is, if it leads to harming others, that is the energy of the realm of demons or monsters. the realm of ghosts, lost, lazy, and self-downgrading. And another important realm is the realm of ghosts. People who are stuck in this realm often don't find a way out of life, because in this realm, if we don't have help or don't protect our minds, we will get lost, like a spirit wandering around aimlessly. People in this realm are often lazy, don't really want to think about self-improvement, and the worst part is that they might downgrade themselves into drug addiction or other intoxicating things. Choose the realm in your mind. You are the creator of your experience. The truth is, everyone on this planet has been through many realms and many dimensions before, whether it's a god, an angel, an animal, or even a hungry ghost. Everything depends on what spiritual essence has gone through in the past, and those experiences from the past will fuse into our habits and nature in the present without us knowing. In the end, you are the one who chooses the realm in your mind, and once you choose, the level of that realm will create experiences for you. Most importantly, don't forget that your mind must be strong. And the spiritual practice methods I've mentioned in previous episodes will help you be strong enough to choose the realm you want to be in. So, what about you? What realm do you think your mind is connected to right now? And what kind of realm do you want to choose to create your life's experiences from now on?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our journey exploring the world of spirituality and different dimensions. In our last episode, we discussed the mind's ability to travel through different dimensions. Today, we're going to delve into a critical aspect of spiritual practice and gain a deeper understanding of the term insanity, which many of you may have heard. Spiritual practice and insanity. A misunderstood truth. Have you ever heard the saying, if you practice spirituality and your mind isn't strong enough, you'll go insane? This is partially true, but I want to tell you a secret about those who are called insane. Do you believe that these people have perceived a certain truth in a particular dimension, but the problem is that their minds weren't strong enough to process or handle those truths? It's as if their minds got stuck in another dimension, and the energy from that dimension began to whisper commands to them. It might say, do this and that, and your life will get better, or you have to exchange something for this. The results that come with exchange. When these thoughts emerge in a person's head, they might try to follow them. Hey, let's see what happens if I follow this thought. And what happens is that they get a result that makes them think, wow, it worked. Wow, my wish came true. But while they get that result, they have no idea what they're exchanging for it. This is the scary part, because getting a certain result from an incomplete connection might come with a loss of something else or a deviation from their true path. Mind shattering is a state of disconnection. This is how we can understand that an insane person is someone whose mind has shattered. Their mind cannot connect with their higher self or their own core essence in a stable way. When the mind isn't connected to its true center, it's like a ship without a rudder, drifting along with the current of energy and dimensions that come to control it without a sense of direction. Therefore, true spiritual practice isn't just about opening up. It's about building the strength of your mind. This allows you to perceive truths in higher dimensions consciously, process them correctly, and, most importantly, not fall for undesirable exchanges. This way, we can truly be the masters of our own life path, not being controlled by energies or whispers from other dimensions. What do you think true spiritual practice should be like to make our mind strong enough to handle the complex truths of this universe? The core of spiritual practice, the power to reason and let go. True spiritual practice isn't just about meditation. It's about developing the power of reason and letting go within ourselves as best we can. How well can we reason? When information, thoughts, or situations come to us, how well can we contemplate, differentiate, and make a careful decision instead of just going with the flow? How well can we let go of things?
When distracting thoughts, worries, or fears take over, can we set them aside and not cling to them or elaborate on them? How well can we tolerate negative situations or thoughts? When facing challenges or when negative voices pop up, how long can we maintain our mental balance without sinking into them? How stable are our thoughts? How solid and unwavering are our thoughts, and how little do they waver with external stimuli? All of these are indicators of the mind's strength that will lead us to connect with higher dimensions safely and mindfully. We can choose feelings, the free will of the mind. All the emotions that arise from within us, whether it's happiness, sorrow, anger, or sadness, we can actually choose them. Our mind is free will, but in this free will, you must first understand that all frequencies that circulate through the world or pass through us are energies that the universe sends to everyone. The universe sends energy to all of us equally, but the question is, how many people can receive the energy that many others cannot interpret and just let it pass by? The energy is released equally, but it is we who can receive certain signals. It depends on the strength of our minds, our practice, our reasoning, and our choices as to what frequency we tune into to create the life we want. Are you ready to choose to receive the signals of happiness and true understanding? From the inner mind to outer expression. When we've strengthened our minds from within, the result is our external expression through our actions, emotions, and habits. These are the things that make up our visible self in the real world. This is the proof of how much our inner mind has developed. A simple way to see if we're on the right path is to consider a certain energy that comes into our heads, whether it's a whisper or a thought that tells us, do this and that, do it that way. The key, don't harm anyone. The easiest way to consider this that I can tell you is, if that voice in your head tells you to do something and that action doesn't harm anyone at all and you get happiness from it, then that is the right path. Sometimes that might even be the voice of your higher self guiding you. But on the other hand, if a whisper in your head tells you to go do this and that, like go steal something, and you go steal from someone, let's say the owner doesn't know the money is missing. You take that money and use it, feeling happy with your spending. The owner doesn't know, right? But deep down inside, there will be a voice that keeps asking, how did you get this money? Hey, does the owner know yet? And another thought might be, what if the owner finds out? That is the consequence. Negative thoughts attract negative frequencies. Always remember that negative thoughts tend to attract negative frequencies into our lives, no matter what dimension they come from. If our minds are open to thoughts that lead to harming others, it will inevitably attract bad things back to us. Ultimately, we can do anything, but just don't harm others. That's it. Use your own happiness without harming others. It's really that simple. This is the essence of living mindfully and strengthening our minds both inside and out, so we can be in the right frequency and truly create the life we want. Do you think this kind of spiritual practice, which connects the inside and outside, will help you live a happier life without harming others? A simple mind check, observing negative emotions. Checking our minds is not difficult at all. It's like checking our own negative emotions. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have a lot of negative emotions or wanting a lot of negative energy to come into your life, because everything is a choice. But if you want positive energy to come into your life, then this is a simple and direct way to check. Observation point 1. Envy. Are we envious of anyone? And when we're envious, how strong is our envy? Is it so strong that we hold a grudge, wish them harm, or want them to fail? Or is it just envy in the sense of, I wish I were like them, I want to be like that? Is it just a feeling that makes you want to improve yourself? These two types give completely different results and attract different energies. Observation point 2. Focusing on unnecessary things. The habit of focusing on other things that aren't necessary for our lives are stories that bring no benefit to us. To put it simply, it's gossip that we know but doesn't make our lives better or help us develop in any way. Dwelling on these unnecessary things uses our energy on things that aren't constructive. Observation point 3, anger management. How well can we control our anger? How well can we stay calm in situations that make us angry? In psychological terms, it's about how well we can control our emotions and thoughts, because being hot-headed doesn't make a situation better, it only makes it worse. Using reason and careful consideration often will help us stay calm and make the right decision. Observation point 4, the habit of lying. The habit of lying, no matter how good the result we get from it. Don't forget that truth is truth. We can't change what has already happened, but we can choose how to move forward. If we lie, even if we get a good result in the short term, our mind will perceive that dishonest energy and might attract insincere things back into our lives. Checking our minds by observing these emotions and habits will help us understand ourselves better and choose to tune the energy of our minds in a constructive direction that will truly bring good things into our lives. So, what about you? Have you checked your mind today to see what kind of energy you're attracting into your life?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our journey exploring our inner world and the mysterious universe. In our last episode, we talked about the different realms as states of our mind. Today, we will understand the essential core that controls every movement in the universe, the karma system. The karma system, the universe's security code. Our universe is written with a security code called the karma system. This system consists of 4 main categories: sin, merit, virtue, and consequence, which are subdivided according to each person's thoughts and actions. Every life is stuck in this karmic cage, repeating cycles for experience. Think of it like electrons and protons attracting each other, creating reactions, producing results, and passing on effects endlessly. This is the same for every event that branches into infinity. No matter what someone's beliefs are or which religion they follow, they all follow this karmic cage, and the events in their lives will follow their own path. Life is an experiment. Learn and fix. Those who have experienced something often do that thing well or face that experience repeatedly to learn how to fix it so it doesn't happen again. Life is an experiment. If the result is good, we follow and continue that path. If the result is bad, we fix and adjust our plan to get a new result. But if we don't change anything, we will follow the same path and receive the same results according to the cause and effect of that original path. The mind can choose, but there are rules for the eternal spiritual element. The mind can choose anything, it is not wrong, but in this karma system, there are rules and standards for the learning of our eternal spiritual element, for our evolution, and to truly be a part of nature so that we don't think that humans are the problem of this world. Karma's only job is to respond to what we do, so we can learn how a certain action feels. That's all there is to it. It is the universe's mechanism designed for us to understand the results of our actions and to truly grow. So, what about you? What lessons from the karma system do you think your life's experiences are reflecting right now? Differentiating the 2 poles, the key to understanding karma. We will understand karma better if we can differentiate the 2 poles, negative and positive. Think about these things: hell, heaven, yin, yang, good, evil, black, white, hot, cold, happy, sad, love, hate. These are the things that define the realms or states we are connected to. No matter how good our mind's intentions are, if we try to dissect the reasons why we say something to convey a certain meaning, whether that thing is negative or positive, whether it's genuinely good or just good with a hidden agenda or other intentions, this is the crucial starting point. The first second karma starts working, from thought to action. Karma begins to work when we think. The first second we get karma is when we think, even if we haven't spoken or acted yet. The next level is speech.
When that thought passes into the mind and becomes speech, karma is already working more strongly. Speech leads to action, and karma will succeed only when an action occurs, and then the system repeats. The speed of this system is so fast we barely notice it. It works quickly and continuously. Let's take a simple example that happens in daily life. Let's say you argue with someone. It starts from the very beginning, when you think negatively about them, but you've only thought it. Do you believe that the other person, the one you are arguing with, can feel your energy? It will show through your body language, your eyes, or your expressions. Then, in the next event, you talk and start arguing. That is karma working. The two poles are colliding. The electron and proton are reacting, which will have endless consequences. It's the same formula. If it gets more serious, karma will work even more strongly. Just arguing with your mouth isn't enough. You might have to throw some punches. That's karma working at its full potential. In the end, whether you want to choose to create good karma or bad karma depends on your own decisions and actions. The essence of making merit, giving without thinking. Do you know what kind of merit making gives you the most merit? Think about it. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Do you believe that the most merit you can get is from giving without thinking about anything at all? Just giving, without regretting it or expecting anything in return. Just giving. It's not about who you give to that gets you a lot of merit. The important thing is the intention behind that action. Doing something to expect a result and doing something to share are completely different. True merit-making is giving from a pure heart, not an investment for a karmic profit. Be aware of the merit trap when merit becomes karma. Many times, people get caught in the trap of making merit, and it turns out they get karma instead. Think carefully. True merit-making is when the good you do creates a positive result for the person who receives it. That is merit. But if what you give creates a negative result, that is karma. Even if you gave with no bad intentions, if a negative result happens, the origin of that karma is you, because if you didn't create it, it wouldn't exist. This is a very important point that many people overlook. Only mindfulness will lead us on the right path in making merit, because making merit is not measured by the amount of money or the things given, but by the pure intention and the positive results that happen to both the giver and the receiver. Do you think that making merit with mindfulness, considering intention and results, will help us understand the true creation of merit more deeply? The core of religion, goodness that starts from the mind. The advice from a hardcore perspective is, religion can prosper because of the mind, not objects. Objects and things are not wrong. They are just reminders of the teachings and the greatness of that religion. But the core of every religion on this planet is to teach everyone to be a good person. No matter what the religion is, the main principle is to develop a pure mind and to do only good things. True merit. Giving what is lacking. So, what is true merit? The hardcore perspective suggests, to make merit, give to those who lack that thing, or anything else. Whether it's a person, an animal, or even a tree, if something is lacking and we go to fill that lack so it's no longer lacking, that is true merit. Things that already exist are already good. Adding to something that is already sufficient may not create as positive a result as filling what is lacking. The power of merit, progress and growth in life and mind. The highest point of the power of merit is progress and growth in life and mind. True merit will result in our lives moving forward, whether in work, finances, relationships, or health. And most importantly, it will elevate our minds to a higher level, making us more peaceful and happy and helping us understand life more. That is the true result of creating merit from the core of our minds and giving what is lacking. So, what about you? How do you think making merit by giving what is lacking will create progress and growth in your life and mind?